The furry fandom. You may have heard about it, or maybe you're in it. Many people, like myself and Dan, have found our way through the furry community through the power of the internet. The furry fandom are filled with many friendly and loving people who all share the same interest in anthropomorphic beings. Although myself and Dan won't go into detail on how we found the fandom, we can both agree that the people that we came across are the most wholesome and friendly people. Hell, that's how Dan and I met. We met on VR chat through the Fur Lounge over a year ago, and we've been friends ever since. Our friendship has been going strong ever since then. Some people may look at the fandom and think that we're all weird, but we're all doing the thing that we love. There's no harm in dressing up in fur suits and hanging around with the same people that share the same interests. Regardless of what type of species you dress up in, we all go to these cons to meet and mingle. Even though myself and Dan haven't been to a con, it would still be fun just to meet some friends and such. However, within every fandom comes with its toxicity. You have the Kingdom Hearts series, which by the way I'm a huge fan of, that if you criticize the game for even the smallest thing, you'll be crucified to a cross. The Call of Duty franchise with this consistent use of the gamer word. I grew up with the OG Modern Warfare, and if you thought today was toxic, oh boy. The old Modern Warfare lobby chats were 10 times as bad. And finally, you have League of Legends, and yeah, we don't talk about League of Legends. The point that we're trying to get across is that no fandom is perfect, and there will always be people that will tarnish the community one way or another. The furry community has its own type of toxicity that we deal with. The fandom is very LGBTQ heavy, and even though Dan is homosexual, myself, I am considered straight. Even though I may act a little suspicious when I'm with Dan, it's all in good fun. He knows what boundaries not to cross, and even though I might say, I'll kiss him on the lips if he doesn't shut up. He and I have a mutual understanding that this is all jokes and don't really mean it. Being a straight furry is a rarity in the fandom, but not unheard of. However, I have come across many instances where people have clearly crossed that line and legitimately tried to, for lack of a better term, convert me. This is where one of many issues lie in the fandom. Straight furs like myself are around a lot of LGBTQ furs, and for the most part, I don't mind being around them. However, I do get quite weary when I'm around some that try to be more than just friends with me. And you know, I don't mind. You love who you love. But there have been many instances too where men try to hit me up and try to become very sexual with me. Usually, I'll give them the benefit of the doubt, as most would think all furs are in the alphabet mafia. I tell these individuals that I am straight, and most of the time, all is well. There's no harm because most of the time, well, they didn't know. Now there have been cases to where they would consistently be pushy with me even after I've completely established a boundary that they should not cross. This I definitely do not appreciate because this is something that makes me uncomfortable even when I told them, sometimes even multiple times, that I'm neither bi nor gay. Some of the things that these individuals might say is, I could change that by tonight, or you'll change your mind once I get you in bed. No. No, you will not. Things like this is straight up predatory and should not be tolerated in the furry fandom. If a boundary has been established and you completely ignore that, you need to reevaluate your life choices. It's the people like this, the individuals like this, that make the fandom toxic, and new furs be wary on what the community is like. This is one of many toxicities that happen in the furry fandom, and the rabbit hole goes much, much deeper than you realize. Please, bear in mind that we aren't trying to say that the furry community is bad, but rather show everything in its entirety, even the bad parts of it. Not every fandom is all sunshines and rainbows, and we want to show you the darkest parts of it. Dan and I love the furry fandom, but he and I both know that there are some people that are just terrible people. The furry fandom try to weed out the bad apples in the community, and this is just to inform you that even though the fandom is welcoming and a loving community, there are other people that will take advantage of this and do terrible things to these kind, and loving people.
The deeper you go into the furry fandom, the more you'll start to realize that it's not all what it seems. Depending on where you traverse to, the furry fandom can be a very messed up and terrible place, especially for those with mental problems or children. Sometimes you can meet the wrong person with terrible and immoral intentions. There have been many accounts of pedophilia and zoophilia, and even I have caught a few of these people doing it casually. My ex-fiancé Seth was someone with serious issues, and I sent him to rehab and interventions about 4 times. He was in the military and constantly cut himself and drank and blamed me for it. He eventually proposed to me, then admitted cheating on me a few times. He refuses to admit it anymore. People like this are all over the fandom. The most recent was a few weeks ago, where this guy named Chummy streamed Nazi furry porn. Read that again, Nazi furry porn. To a minor in a server I was modding for. I left due to unfair circumstances and lack of freedom, but that guy got away with pretty much everything, with his close friends and even his ex letting him back in the picture, believing that he felt sorry. He also cheated on her. He was a very, very big manipulator, so I cannot fault his ex, who shall be nameless at this time. My very first boyfriend I only got with because he threatened to kill himself. His name was first Sea Salt, then Toxie. Now it's Nanofox. He used aliases to avoid any drama, which was smart. He then tortured me for a couple years, taking everything from me, including friends, servers, and spreading lies without any evidence. He used to nuke servers with one of his bots. He'd ask for admin, he'd do everything right, he'd add his bot, and ban tons of people and delete all the channels. He is currently running the Fur Club, as far as I know of. I have been asked out by people 30 and up when I was 15 to 17. When I was 18, a lot of them lost interest. The amount of shame this community has gotten is actually incredibly well deserved, to the point where I genuinely feel like trolls are right about what the fandom is. But I've been inside the fandom for a few years. In VR chat, it's very one-track minded. People with full bodies are incredibly full of themselves and get the most attention. Furries are the definition of greed and ego-driven people. The visceral reaction I had when someone used "I have 9 girlfriends" in an argument made me realize just how much I hate this fandom sometimes. Poly and open relationships, they're mostly just excuses because of how sexual and lonely the fandom feels. I have been cheated on, and being honest here, it's incredibly easy to hide it. The fandom is very unleashed and doesn't allow for many rules. One time, one of my friends showed me the most disgusting shit possible. Him having intercourse with his dog, thinking I was okay with it, and when I spread the proof to his friends and to his favorite server, I got the hardest pill I ever had to swallow. They told me it was a free country, and to let them do what they want. All the staff agreed, and I left out of anger. His name was Bella at first, but then he changed it to Thaddeus. Picture up on screen. I remember that I cut out his face for some project on here. That's all I got. It's just a picture of his face. He was a Circle, which are known for their strange amounts of gore and vor pictures in the fandom. Even so, I can finally move to the topic of this video. CodyYeen. CodyYeen, also known as Patches, is a serial scammer and owner of a Minecraft furry server that was stripped from him due to scamming friends of the server, ironically enough. Some profile pictures and names will be censored for privacy concerns. I'll be using footage and pictures from his Linktree, and thank fucking God, thank you, Cody, for making that easy for me. Making a Linktree, it's so good when you're trying to make a video like this. After writing this script, it had occurred to me that I had met this CodyYeen guy, CodyYeen, in VR chat through a mutual friend a couple times. And I legit have never felt so violated to know that I've interacted with this guy unironically makes me sick. I will be narrating all the screenshots as I go along. Hey, just a heads up. My account is now $139 from working, so server balance on my checking is $0. So did you transfer $445.83? Just wondering, because I haven't got my second deposit yet from my manager and I'm wondering where it is. I did. I won't spend anything more. This is Cody saying that he won't use any of his money. Any more of it anyway, and keep that in mind for the rest of the video. Dang it, okay. My second paycheck is up in the air then. Might need to pester my manager. Also, don't be afraid to use it if you really need it, just letting you know. No, I won't. It's your money. This creates a bit of an issue, as my friend is too nice and offered for him to use the money for emergencies only. But as we're about to find out, he used it for everything but. Just let me know if you need it and I'll lend. This is probably the most important line here. He has given him the go-ahead only if he asks my friend first. Keep that in mind as well. Okay, done spending. Now the rest of the money that's left is yours. Now, want to see what I bought? Yeah. He then shows a picture of the expensive fursuit he just bought. I'm gonna go on a limb here and say I assume my friend is not actually okay with this, but at the time he didn't know what was gonna happen later on. His fursuit was bought at thedealersden.com for $850. Did I spend your money? I put in $1K and used like $900. It's not too much, don't worry about it for now. Did I cut into it? Only like $50. I don't know why, but I feel like crying. Same. Cody is using a tactic of which you incriminate yourself first to make it seem like an honest mistake. This shows his manipulative behavior as it ramps up in the next screenshot. Patches, you can't spend any more money. Whatever you bought on PayPal has me in the negatives now. I don't have any more cash, please. I'm locking my debit card for right now. When you have time to transfer something, please let me know. What did I buy? It might have been my Discord. I don't know. I can't check any of the transactions because they're all through your PayPal. At this point in time, it's been a couple months and my friend is becoming wary and a bit angry at Cody. He's using the money for himself and himself only, blaming it on sales tax. His behavior cannot be excused at this point, as he has stolen money plenty of times from other people, but we hadn't known yet. I'll check tonight. We can hop in a car. I didn't buy anything besides something on Steam, and I think only $1 was not charged for my Steam wallet, which I thought would be okay. I bought myself Terraria, and it was just the tax because it was $10, and I had a $10 Steam card. It was Discord. I put $10 in. Thank you. Do you have any idea when I can get my money back? I'm planning on working this summer again so I can buy a fursuit, and I sorta need that. Yeah, tomorrow. Spoiler alert, he did not pay tomorrow or this video wouldn't be here. Patches, I'm in the negative again. I don't mean to stress you out or get frustrated, but I am looking to buy a fursuit. I need my portion of the money this weekend when commissions open. Please stop spending on my account. When I have all my money returned, I want to disconnect my bank card from the PayPal too, please. What? How are you in the negatives? You spent another $10 on my card. But I didn't. Let me check. Are you sure you didn't spend another $10 on anything? He sends a screenshot of his PayPal, which includes him getting $120 from Patreon. The culprit was Discord Nitro auto-redeeming itself. He shouldn't have spent his money on Nitro in the first place. I'm sure you're also thinking. When you're poor, you tend to not spend money on things like that. This next screenshot is where it gets pretty bad. It makes my stomach turn. From now on, there's a trigger warning for some severe manipulation, rape, suicide, pedophilia, sensitivity to somehow fucking murder, faking cancer, and some flashing warning. This is the point to stop if you do not want to hear about any of this. So I might postpone my first con. If I'm honest, I want to save for a ring. His boyfriend was someone he had recently started sending gifts to, with money. His boyfriend is something I'm gonna bring up later after the scamming section. And not pay me back? I forgot. Yeah, forgot. But yeah, that's fine. I'm not even 100% sure I'm going. So I won't say that I won't see you. I'm not sad. I might not get to go myself. So we'll see. I won't be 18 yet, so can't fully party. This is a huge nitpick for furcons, which I notoriously hate. Recently, I had discovered that minors have sections of the furcon open. This disgusts me as people can have their weird kinks in full display while the minors roam around innocently. I know that a minor has been molested at furcons before, as I've heard from friends just how often it actually happens because of some of the bullshit rules around minors. Actually, just a few weeks ago, someone has taken someone's suit and raped several men and women at a furcon by saying they were that person, and I hope to God that person burns in hell. Apparently, a famous artist, Brayburned, he made that Room 308 comic that you've probably seen, was in the section with minors roaming around, not asking for ID, but was selling mature content in a public area with minors. This is probably not his fault, but he should have checked, you know? It's failure on both parts. The furcons are so horribly managed that I vowed to myself to never ever go to a furcon anywhere in the world, though I don't know how long that'll last. Never mind about that guy Maned Wolfie or Rainforest, or even that time the furries got gassed at that furcon. Furcons are very, very dangerous for kids, and I won't allow myself to go there when there is no telling what can happen there. My friend was offered a party and was given alcohol at one, despite only being 17. They give minors a wristband, and somehow my friend who was underage was offered alcohol and to come to their adult parties. Also, it's that time of the month again, rent's due. This refers to the fact that Cody made a PayPal and had to pay for the server, and my friend offered to connect his card because Cody couldn't let their mom see it or his ass would be in trouble. A few months go by and things are ramping up. What did you buy for $300? Paying off my debts? But not my debts? JK, I'm too awesome. I'm working on it. At this point, he's using my friend's money to pay off debts to other people. This is probably the time when my friend found out that Cody was just using other people for their money as well. It gets worse. We start in the middle of an existing argument. No, I just did some dishes. Okay, cause yesterday I kinda caught a second wind before you called me and I started writing a paragraph concerning the money you owe, and I would appreciate if you took some time to hear me out fully. I feel like we really dance around it a lot, so I wanted to be upfront. I owe you $550. I'll get it back to you by the end of the month, okay? Well, here's the thing, that's a little vague. You've told me you'd pay me back once or twice before, and I want to hear out what your situation is, i.e., are you trying to send it to me in payments or all together? I don't have a job. Zero income. I get $50 a week for gas. I know that, but I still see you spending money on stuff like... And then my grandpa slides me cash. Twitch donations? Commissions? Bad dragon dildos. Put a bad dragon on screen. No, don't do that. My friend has explained to me that Cody sent a picture of his bad dragon dildo to him. At this point, Cody was 18 and my friend was 17. He also invited him to a group chat that had videos of Cody smacking his meat on camera, which is hilarious. I don't have to tell you that this is illegal, as you are knowingly inviting a minor to a place where you openly show yourself nude. Under this pretense, he's not a pedo, but it's still grounds for him being a sex offender. That seems harsh. People who show any kind of nudity to a child in real life has that label, though we definitely should be taking account of this at least. Like, that stuff ain't cheap. I haven't gotten a commission in a minute. The bad dragon dildo is for Connor's birthday. His ex? I had to get him something. His 19th birthday's on the 29th. I haven't made a Twitch donation in a second either. Then you might be automatically charging me these things still. Unless it was off my prepaid Visa cards from months ago, which were dollar donations at a time to suck 'em dry to remove from my account. Bruh, what? I am? Cause there's another 15 or so you spent this week on Discord and Twitch. It's auto-charging. This is 4 months later and basically nothing was paid back to my friend. He was getting restless and wasn't messing around. Letting you know again, because I'm holding you accountable for payments this week. You don't have to like me anymore, it's fine, but you do have to give me my money. If not, I'll have to consider alternate action. Just please go away. Cody shows his PayPal and it's got $4.77 left. This is contradictory as he was spending money this whole time. I go away as soon as you give me my money back. I can't forgive that much money. What happened to the rest of what you said you had? A month later, I convinced him to get his money back by texting his mother, which my friend had threatened to do this whole time. But he finally had done it. Here's a screenshot of the end of that conversation. But during this, Cody was freaking out and kept calling him an idiot and saying everything is his fault. He threatened to create a DM that made it seem like my friend had made this all up, but his mom, the absolute Chad that she is, actually forced him to pay all of it back. Though I don't think he actually paid. I think his mom actually had his back for this one and she was the one who paid. But we were able to obtain all that money back at the time of the video being made. This video right here. He made a video on TikTok about how he suddenly might have cancer, which by the way, he made while him and the victim were talking this morning.
This is a bit of a serious topic, trigger warning cancer. There is a genetic that runs in my family that gives us stomach cancer. There's a test that you can do to see if you have that genetic. Now my mom just got her test back and she tested positive. So there's a 50-50% chance that I have that gene. Now I've had stomach issues for 2, maybe 3 years. We didn't really think much of it because we didn't know that we had this gene. So if I test positive, I'm going to go get tested for cancer. It's only a possibility, but I figured I would put out something saying that I might be gone for a bit after that test comes back. I hope you all have an amazing day. Thank you for 1,000 on YouTube. Thank you for 8,000 on TikTok.
And he has lied to his audience plenty, so this is no big deal, honestly. Though it can be offensive just randomly saying that you have cancer while you're arguing. This is a total swing and miss, and I personally take offense to this as someone who has had to deal with a close family member dying from bone marrow cancer. He was using it to get out of responsibility and the fact that he had to disappear for a while. He was getting kicked out of his mother's house. I will now read DMs of an associate learning this guy was scamming other people. Classy. He owes me a bit as well, so I'll bear that in mind. Yeah, I don't want to be bleak, but good luck. I've been trying for months for him to sit down and fix his PayPal and stuff. How long has he owed you money? Is PayPal still borked? About 9 months now. Jesus fucking Christ. Originally, he owed me less, but after a few months of trying to get it back, he took more. If I can get him to pay me back though, I think he has enough to pay you back as well. So at the moment, I kept it afloat last 2 months. I accidentally got left on autopay, so I removed it myself. He did pay me 100 of the first month. He did? Yeah, that was before I had paid though. He sent some, then I sent it to the host. I know though, he told me before you told him to keep it a secret. Wait, I told Patches not to say anything? He said something to me before that, because I was in a call with him the night where he was freaking out about payment. He said he wanted to keep it a secret. I don't know, we knew roughly when it's gonna have problems. I'm gonna make a backup near the end. Worst case, if it shuts down, payment can't be made, then we have a backup. And we can figure something out. But if he owes us both money, it's just kind of sussy. Also, didn't realize his PayPal was an issue for 9 months. Huh, that may be because I just messaged him like, hey, I got auto charge, go fix it. Also, were you the one who discovered you were auto-charged? When did you find out? I realized today we stopped donations so I don't have to use our PayPal often. I looked over and was like, huh, I got charged again. Because he realized that auto-charged you maybe a week ago, so I was calling him about my money again. I still had to log in, so I went in and removed it. Guess I forgot to. Lol, he didn't even tell me I got auto-charged.
I've been in the hills, fucking dude. 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 I've been in the hills, fucking dude.
Let's see. Eeny, meeny, miny.
For most of you, I believe there is peace, and perhaps more, waiting for you after the smoke clears. Although for one of you, the darkest pit of hell has opened to swallow you whole. So don't keep the devil waiting, friend.
Got to understand that there are consequences to your actions.
You are like Papa!
Stewie, yeah? It's not your fault. What? It's not your fault. I know. It's not your fault. I know. No, Stewie. It's not your fault. Don't do this to me, man. Not you, man. It's not your fault. Screw you. Cut it out, man. It's not your fault. Why is it so hard? I didn't know it was going to be so hard.
I always long for, feel like a brand new person, the same old mistakes. I can't.
Keep thinking about the same lies. Keep thinking. Sometimes when I'm lonely, I sit and think about it.
Mom! Always want to tell me that there's food at home, but when I open the cabinet, there's not. Mom! There's a beautiful, thriving ass bitch in the cabinet! Fuck!
As we finish off this section, we have to take a step back and think. How many cases have we not heard about that are similar to this? Why do we pretend the community is so precious and sweet when this man has thousands of subs on TikTok and has lied about cancer and his whole morality being this nice, goofy, fun fella? We need to realize that people aren't always there for you and are helping themselves. Cody, who unfortunately has my name, Danny, is one of the worst scammers out there and has condoned suicide and murder of innocent people, which could have seriously gone wrong. The evidence I have shown isn't even all there was out there. Who knows what else this horrible man has done to people? But the most important lesson is that the furry fandom is way more fucked than we like to say it is. I may get criticism for being so harsh and cynical, but I have seen greed, pedophilia. Example, owner of the Fur Lounge and VR Chat is a pedophile and dating a 17-year-old. Gore, zoophilia, credit, fraud, near murder, rape, scams, blackmail, specifically from the owner of Furry Valley, Simba, and God, I am tired of counting it all. I feel like no one wants to make a video on the fandom and examples of why it gets as much hate as it does. I recently started a server outside of the Furs in Paradise podcast Discord that fights all types of drama and lets those breathe and not have an owner like all the other furry servers. When it comes to VR Chat, as of now, I'd suggest the Furry Talk and Chill as it's the most active and has an owner that's actually really decent. I will link my server down below. And now, here's a message for Cody, from yours truly. I've never met you, Cody. But you say your mom is the worst person in your life. Your mom has done nothing but love you, and the reason she was stern is because you're a stubborn-ass kid. And you have made her life harder than it needs to be. If you really want to make everything feel better, admit your wrongs and faults. Call your mom and say sorry for all the lying, stealing the money, and making her drive you to the bank because you scammed my friend. Your mom had to pay to get you out of this situation, and the only thing you can do is lie. Admit to your fans that you are a scammer and say that you will do better and hope everything and everyone can forgive you. Let go of your ex and stop using him in your videos, because that is very unhealthy. Say sorry, especially to those you've scammed. And you know which ones those are. I won't let you get away with this if you do not say sorry. You can be better, and you will get past this, but only if you listen to what I said. I spent a long time on this script, and I am the one who got this all to be fixed, so you better thank me too. Sure, you may lose some friends, but you'll gain our respect for finally telling the damn truth. Despite everything, I don't want to leave the fandom. I am strong, and I believe it's a tough world out there regardless, and I've met some very amazing people such as my co-host, Co-Shocker, and my friends at the Discord, our guests on the show, some talented streamers like Command Wolf Gaming and Sober Kid, and some people I see in the community fully respecting charities and other deceased furries. The fandom does have its good moments, as dark and as very, very serious and hard to watch as this video has been. These terrible people will never be able to erase their history, but we can avoid giving them love and letting them learn themselves. I was able to create a lot of love in this community and build friends that I love and support. There is love to be found, and if you're looking to be loved, sometimes the best place is right here in the fandom. Good night and good day, furs. Thanks for listening.
Oh, good morning, Rupert. Please tell me you set the timer on the coffee maker because I completely forgot. Hey, Carl. Hey, can I get a couple of scratch-off lottery tickets? Oh, sure, Brian. Oh, Brian, can I do one? I love scratches. Well, all right, maybe just one. Cherry? Another cherry? Oh, come on, one more, one more.